This is the Storybots Iceberg explained. Now, before this video starts, I'll explain what Storybots is. For those who don't know what Storybots is a children's franchise that came out in 2012. It is a multi-platform learning program and makes educational and entertaining songs and shows for kids. This franchise focuses on tiny robots that dwell inside computers known as Storybots, hence the name, and mainly focuses on 5 colorful Storybots named Beep, Bing, Bang, Boop, and Bo. And for those who don't know what an iceberg video is, it's pretty simple. At the top are well-known topics, and as it goes deeper, the topics get more obscure. So today, I'm going to be explaining everything in this iceberg, and personally, it's my first time making a video like this, so sit back and relax while I yap about Storybots stuff. Also, shout out to Jaco for creating this iceberg, as well as helping and providing information for the script. If it weren't for him, then this video would not exist. So without further ado, let's dive into this rabbit hole. Jib Jab. Jib Jab is an American independent digital entertainment studios from Los Angeles, California, founded in 1999 by Greg and Evan Spiridelis. They were known for their satirical, political, and social videos, as well as e-cards that you can share to your friends and co-workers, and getting widespread attention during the 2004 US presidential election with a video of George W. Bush and John Kerry singing "This Land Is Your Land," which somehow became viral. Remember that detail now because it's going to be needed later on. Later on, in 2012, Jib Jab entered the children's educational market with its multi-platform learning program, Storybots. The program became successful, getting 3 Netflix TV shows, which are Super Songs, As the Storybots, and recently Answer Time. This really became successful, getting positive reviews from parents and teachers worldwide, and the rest is history. Stonerbang. Stonerbang is a YouTuber in the Storybots community who makes analysis and explanation videos about Storybots. He gained tons of respect and positive attention from the fandom, and even get in contact with the voice actors and the brothers themselves. Well, not for now. Recently, he got into some controversy, which I'll be explaining later on. Media. This entry refers to Storybots media that's ever been made during its lifetime. Starting from 2016, it's As the Storybots, Storybots Super Songs, A Storybots Christmas, A Storybots Space Adventure, Storybots Laugh Learn Sing, Super Silly Stories with Bo, and Storybots Enter Time, with As the Storybots and Storybots Enter Time being the spotlight of the franchise. Songs. Apart from the show and special songs, there have been 18 song collections in total before their existence from 2012 to 2016. These 18 song collections are
Brace yourselves.
ABC Jamboree, Classic Songs, Animal Songs, Outer Space, Shapes, Dinos, Time, Body, Barnyard, Behavior, Great Innovators, Vehicles, Emotions, Colors, Numbers, Veggie Boogie, Professions, and Holiday. So far, 10 of these song collections are included in Storybots Super Songs, and the rest can be found on YouTube and during segments of Ask the Storybots. Evan and Greg Spiridelis. Evan and Greg Spiridelis are the brothers behind Storybots and Jib Jab. They first founded Jib Jab in 1999, and 13 years later, in 2012, expanded their marketing to kids media, and the Storybots were a massive success for parents and children all around the world, creating all of the media that they have made for us. Fan content. And if you're wondering, yes, Storybots does have a fandom. Anyways, there are tons of fan art about the show, especially with our beloved quintet.
Some of the greatest Storybots fan arts go to Lexi, Artsy Doggy, and many more.
There's parodies, reviews, songs, animation, ships, and as well as people making Storybots sonas for themselves. Now that's great. Netflix. As of 2016, Storybots have been streaming on Netflix, and in 2019, Netflix bought the franchise and their IP, so everything from Storybots is owned by Netflix. YouTube poops. YouTube poops are a staple of internet culture and are still is today. Unfortunately, Storybots have plenty of YouTube poops made about them. Artsy Doggy, Songer Kids, Kamek Magic Koopa, and Bob3 Studios have made some Storybots YouTube poops. So if you want to have a quick laugh, you can watch these videos, I guess. Megatrax. Megatrax is a company that has produced a lot of songs for Storybots. So far, they've provided music for Veggie Boogie, Season 1 of Ask the Storybots, and Super Songs. SpaceX. A Storybots space adventure is considered as the worst piece of media from the franchise, and it has gained its awful reputation for lots of reasons. But the biggest has to be the fact that the special was made to promote Elon Musk's space company SpaceX. The special wasn't made for the show, but a cash grab for Elon Musk done really wrong. What a shame. It could have been a bit better. If it wasn't a cash grab, of course. Storybots Classroom. Storybots Classroom was a website that Storybots had up until 2019 when Netflix acquired the franchise. They had to delete the website because they didn't start it, since it was originally created by JibJab. The classroom vanished, leaving everyone really uneasy and frustrated with the situation. Fortunately, contents of this website has been archived. Ships. It's not a fandom if it doesn't have some shipping. There are a lot of ships in this fandom, and the most popular ship of them all is Beep X Bang. Many fans ship the two together due to how they interact and because of how Hap mentioned their relationship at the end of the final episode of Ask the Storybots. Unfinished content. 2 songs from Storybots haven't been completed. First, The Color Brown, which stars, you guessed it, the color brown. It doesn't have any animation because they didn't have time to produce it and they have no intention of completing it. And since they named the songs at the end, they put The Color Brown as a title. And secondly, The Scientist song. It has the exact same story as the Color Brown one, except of the fact that it does have some screenshots of how the animation could have been. Deleted scenes. Just like any other show, Storybots is no stranger when it comes to deleted scenes. There are a lot of them, examples being the alternate ending for the Fractions episode and the Did You Know game show. Emmys. Not just Emmys. The Storybots have earned a lot of awards with shows like Storybots Laugh, Learn, and Sing and Storybots Answer Time, with As the Storybots earning 5 Emmy Awards in 2019.
Aaron Fitzgerald. I'll let Jago cover this one since I have no interest in covering this topic. Originally, the script is going to be a bit different, but after a little bit of discussion, I think we have to change this segment. And yeah.
Aaron Fitzgerald is a voice actor known for various roles across different shows and movies. But in Storybots franchise, she voices a lot of characters, which include Bo, Gulp, Eleanor Smarty Pants, and just to name a few. But one thing that people do not actually know about her is that she was the first ever official crew member of the Storybots team that entered the now defunct Storybots fan server run by Stonerbang. And there is an explanation to it, which we will discuss more later on in the video. But let's just say that at least people thought that Aaron turned her back on Stonerbang. But as we have seen on the new livestream done by Stonerbang, with the super silly stories with Boaty, we can confirm that our theories weren't actually true.
Thank you very much, Jago, for covering this topic for me. Anyways, this is the last entry for Layer 2. And now we're going even deeper into the iceberg.
Storybots The Big Bible. The Big Bible is a document containing all of the information regarding the Storybots, such as the preferences, the designs, some fun facts, and overall what you need to know, pretty much everything about the franchise. What's so special is that it also has information about the Storybots that are never mentioned elsewhere, such as the origins of the Storybots, where Bing, Boop, and Bo came from, and how Greg and Evan came up with Storybots. You can check out the PDF file in the description. Song Storybots, Latitude and Longitude. We all know the main cast of characters of the shows and specials, being Beep, Bing, Bang, Boop, and Bo, but there's more than meets the eye. In the songs, even if they don't have a complete story, there is still a cast of characters. We have a group of 8 Storybots in the classic songs, the Orange Bot from the Shape songs, and more. But the most popular example has to be Latitude and Longitude, named by fans. These 2 Storybots are the main characters from the Space and Dino songs and had skimmed the warm feeling of fans. Hap's MIA treatment. For some strange reason, in Storybots Answer Time, Hap has been completely eliminated from the show, but the only evidence of his existence was that he was the sticker on Bing's setup. The only answer was that the brothers said that they wanted to make it a different thing from As the Storybots and they forgot about Hap. Answer Time's quarantined work. This entry is probably referring to the fact that answer time is made while everyone else is in quarantine. Due to the 2020 pandemic, all the work that's been done for answer time has been done in quarantine. Hidden Easter eggs. There are multiple Easter eggs that are secretly hidden in the shows. One of the Easter eggs here occurs during the intro for Answer Time, where there's a sign that says Spiridella's Street located above the background, which is a direct reference to the Spiridella's brothers themselves. Other answer teams. Team 341B is not the only team that we have seen in the show. In Season 3, Episode 7, we have seen Answer Team 341A in a single scene. Even though they only appeared as a gag, fans had speculated with their original characters how other answer teams can be. Redesigns. This entry refers to the redesigns of the 3D models for the Storybots since Season 2. Comparing the models to the one in Season 1, we can see that the new models look more closer to the 2D designs than the previous models. We can see the comparison by putting the intro of Season 1 and Season 2 side by side. As the Storybots song remake. Basically, this entry refers to how one song in the original sounds different compared to the same song in As the Storybots. Here's an example.
That love is red, that love is red, that love is red, that love is red, red, that love is red, that love is red, that love is red, that love is red, red, red.
As you can hear, there's one specific part of the song that sounded different in As the Storybots than it did in the original. However, that change was really subtle, unless you have really good ears. Anyways,
it was really interesting to look, but it's still unknown why the change has been made. Stonerbang drama. So, remembered when I mentioned about the drama back in Layer 1? Well, in this entry, I'm going to explain what the drama is. For those who have no idea what's going on, I'll give you a summary. So basically, in December of 2024, a document has been made and published on Tumblr about the terrible things Stonerbang did. So to put it simply, he harassed, bullied, and manipulates minors, as well as a few adults in a Discord server. So yeah, not looking good for him. The document is super long, and if I explain it in detail, this video will be an hour long. And obviously, you guys came here for Storybots Iceberg and not a super long commentary about Stonerbang. So if you wanted to see the document, the link to the document is in the description below, and make sure to help spread awareness of this.
Anyways, as we speak, we're going deeper into the waters and
anatomy. The Storybots have some interesting anatomy since they don't seem to have vital organs, but they do have some habits like going to the bathroom, holding their breath, and having heartbeats. And the fact that they have teeth and tongues really speaks for itself on how they are structured. Personally, I think it's obvious that it's because of cartoon logic and for them to be relatable to their audience. IMDb. IMDb is a website where you can review series and movies, and Storybots is no exception. With an 8.6 rating, Storybots Answer Time has gained a lot of popularity from fans and critics, even though it isn't very known. Yes, the IMDb pages for the Storybots shows look normal, but one thing that stands out from the others is space adventure, because for some reason, one of the images has Rocket in a certain frame, where it seems like he's staring at the Storybots in an unsettling way. Yeah, it could be weird if it's taken out of context. Adult jokes. This is not what you expect from an entry like this. There are no adult jokes hidden in the shows, besides the unused script in Why Do People Look Different, but in the music video Long O Short O, we see a baby Storybot with its mom and dad, and fans had speculated how would a Storybot's pregnancy work, and there was an account who tried to picture it, but that later on. References. Like every other show, Storybots have references to other pieces of media. One example is in the Area episode from Answer Time, where in one of the scenes, Beep finds herself surrounded by video game fans who try to show her their games, and in one moment, a Storybot tells her that their game is called Cube Constructor, an obvious reference to Minecraft. Unused content. Answer Time's unused content has one big example, the Desert Song. We don't actually know why it was deleted, but the closest guess is that since it had the same animation style as Wrinkly Fingers, another song in the same episode, and it was ultimately scrapped because of the similarities. Recycled content in Ask the Storybots. One of the examples of recycled content in Ask the Storybots is in a Storybots Space Adventure, where there's a scene where someone throws a pizza at Hap. This scene is actually recycled from the episode What Happens After You Flush the Toilet, and the scene looks the exact same except for the fact that the scene came out of nowhere in the Storybots Space Adventure. Perry Grip's amazing autotune. Did you know that Perry Grip, the person behind some iconic songs like It's Raining Tacos and Chicken Nugget Dreamland, also made music for Storybots? For the early Storybots songs, Perry Grip created an auto-tuned robot voice that gained the love of fans all around.
It sounded like this.
This is the part of the song where the Storybots introduce the letter A.
Since the autotune looked and sounded pretty legit, however, it is unknown how or where he did it. Storybots almost wasn't produced. In the year 2006, Jib-Jab faced a lawsuit, which made the company land in court. I initially thought it was due to copyright infringement, but Jaco told me it's because of their parody video about George Bush, which has political topics and the rules were stricter back then. But luckily, the case was in favor of Jib-Jab and they went free. But if it hadn't been the case, Storybots might have never existed, so cherish what you have. We have officially reached the deepest point of the iceberg now, so strap on to one of the wildest entries out there. Freaky Bots. As said on Layer 4, some fans had tried to get the Storybots pregnancy to work, and Freaky Bots overdid it. The Pinterest account draws Storybots sloppily making out and mentions about the Storybots getting freaky, or informally doing the deed, which makes the fandom look uncanny, and the ships are just feeding the account even more. Possible movie. The brothers themselves have confirmed that an animated feature is in the works, but after telling it in Stonerbang's livestream, we have 100% confirmation that a Storybots movie is in the works. Continuity errors. The most notable continuity error is in Why is the Sky Blue, where the Storybots are panicking because the sky is black. But the episode comes after How Does Night Happen, where they learn why the sky is black. If the episodes were put in a different order, it would be okay, but it doesn't work in that way. Fourth wall breaks. There are 3 famous fourth wall breaks in Storybots. The first one is in the Lasers episode, where at the end, Bang says that the problem is for another episode, and the top secret agent asks if they are in a TV show, ending the episode. The second one is in Super Silly Stories with Bo, where in Lollipop Mountain, Bo is bored out of her mind and waiting for the updates of her game and asks if someone watched any good Netflix shows, despite being in a Netflix cartoon herself. The third fourth wall break is in Super Songs in the Body episode, where Hap tells Bing that he can't say poop in a kids show, stating that Super Songs is indeed for kids. Beta characters. These are the beta designs for the Storybots themselves, which can be found on an old Tumblr account of the official Storybots. These designs look way different compared to the final design that we have today, with the complex designs contrasting the simpler design of the final product. And yes, Greg and Evan confirmed that they did in fact make the designs as their first choice, but they didn't like them, so it wasn't used. Imagine what would Storybots look like if they still cut the original design. Tumblr. Tumblr is a social media platform and also used to be the internet's favorite punching bag before the toxicity of Twitter, and is the first social media where Storybots started and the one that started the Stonerbang drama. All of the concept art, production history, and release dates are all on Storybots' Tumblr page, mostly for the ABC Jamboree songs and classic songs. But with Stonerbang, it's a different story. A document of 300 pages went public on Tumblr, and people started to take notice and turn their backs on Stonerbang to the point where no one trusts him anymore. Nationalism. In the UK version of Answer Time, a lot of changes were made to fit the British language, like Bang sounding different.
Oh yeah, I learned all about how lasers work. Check it out. You see,
And some changes to fit the British English. And when it was done, some people, like 10, started to theorize that the nationalism for the UK version was unnecessary and insulting, but the UK version tried to make it as British as possible to not repeat the Peppa Pig cycle, which made Americans talk like British people. Weird censors. Laugh, Learn, and Sing made some questionable censors in the alphabet songs, like changing the animations in the letter K song and shortening the letter Y song. Some of them are understandable, like in the Z song, where the zip line to Zanzibar part was cut because it was pointing to the Maldives, not Zanzibar. And finally, the last entry. The Blue Puffball. If you think that the Stonerbang drama is the first time Stonerbang did something terrible to the community, then you would be wrong. Because originally, Stonerbang used to go by a different channel named the Blue Puffball, which was made back at the time he was in the Thomas the Tank Engine fandom, and before he came to the Storybots fandom. He gained a lot of hate from the Thomas the Tank Engine fandom for a lot of reasons. Firstly, he added politics to Thomas the Tank Engine, which, of course, is not a good decision. And secondly, he exposed and doxed an 11-year-old, which is really shocking, and after his channel failed, he went to the Storybots fandom to take over it, and the rest is history. Currently, this channel has been terminated, but the content has been archived by our channel. Thank you all for watching this video. That sure was one heck of a trip. Also, thanks to Jaco on Discord for helping me with some of the scripts, the information, and also for making this iceberg. And huge thanks to everyone at Stonerbang Discussions for information regarding Stonerbang. If you like this video, I would suggest looking at my other content here on my YouTube channel. Who knows, maybe it might interest you. And as always, thank you all for watching this video, and I hope I will see you again next time.